So so do you feel that your anger was more purposeful?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, I want to make a disclaimer on like, being blinded or not blinded by rage and anger. I mean, Kali, she has been known to be blinded by her own rage. Because there's this story of Kali fighting um, demons, and then she just becomes so bloodthirsty, so frenzied in this destruction that she begins to destroy the whole world. And the other gods go to her consort and say, "Oh my God, you have to stop her. Please do something." So he lays himself in Kali's path as she's doing this kind of furious dance, and she ends up dancing her dance of destruction on him, and she's about to destroy him as well. But then she realizes that she's destroying her own husband, and then she realizes what she's been doing. She becomes more conscious of her own self, her rage, and then she stops. So I would say that rage is kind of a tricky thing because it's not. I mean, it just is so consuming that, I mean, you're not necessarily seeing clearly all the time. But that is kind of the power behind it, and it's a practice of learning to be more conscious of that rage. Kali's story is just an example that even she, is not perfect at it, and that we have to learn to use that emotion more consciously. So it is so blinding in its fierce passion, but I think there also is a process to kind of learning how to use it properly. And that's definitely how it has been for me. I would say that I have been learning to express my anger better through Kali. And yeah, so it's a process. Yeah.
So would you say your personal experiences with Kali has inspired you to bring her more into your professional area?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I I am very interested in bringing awareness of this particular goddess um, to more people, to more women, um, because Kali comes up in our lives when we have stuffed her down, when we have not given her um, enough space to be free, to be angry, to be wild, um, and I don't I don't see a lot of encouragement for that kind of energy, for that kind of fury, for that kind of emotion um, in people. But and what's so important about the passion of Kali's emotion is that it's in utilizing it, harnessing that energy which at first seems dark, getting into that and kind of letting yourself transform it is what brings back the light and the creative side of it. Because she's not just destruction. There's never just one thing. It's always a duality that kind of flows together like the infinity symbol. So when you're able to harness that darkness of Kali, for example, that's when you're also able to bring back the creative side, the light side, which is Maya. So there's nothing more important for everybody than to realize their own creative power. So I'm interested in bringing people back to that creative power, to use the light and the dark to understand who we are, what our purpose is as individuals and as a whole, as a species, as, I don't know, more than that probably. But I see nothing more important than utilizing creativity for understanding life purpose and potential. And that's what I feel that I'm here to teach in my life. How to inspire that same kind of process in others, because I have gone through it. So, yeah, ultimately I am about teaching and coaching on the value of getting in touch with the light and the dark of the goddess Kali.
Do you think there's any particular reason why she's emerging and showing herself to people in our age?
Well, because she's been stuffed underground for so long. Because, well, especially as women, less as men, especially as women, we've been told to be nice, be ladylike, be fair, be sweet, be kind. And, you know, much of that is, you know, valid and worthy, but it's never, ever enough unless there is room for that more raw, visceral, fierce, even angry power that is Kali. I mean, when you don't allow Kali in, you have all kinds of neuroses, depression, but allowing her to be in your life creates so much more consciousness. And what I see people wanting in the world is consciousness of who they are. So, and what their purpose is. Why are things so, you know, chaotic and on the brink? For us as a species, we've got so many people. What's my purpose? What is the meaning of life? You know, no other time has it been more pressing and urgent for us to kind of get some direction on these answers than now. So, yeah, I see Kali as very important and emergent at this time, particularly for women and for men getting more in touch with that dark feminine inside themselves too. But I think it probably starts with women owning it.
So, as a leader in your developing process of becoming a leader, what is the most important thing that Kali brings to you?
Kali brings me passion, the tenacity to just go for it, to be fearless, to believe in myself, to believe in my own creativity, to believe in my own knowing that I have something to offer the world. It's kind of a sidetracking a little bit, but the passion of Kali kind of reminds me of Gandhi. Just because this guy, he just did have a lot of passion to kind of sacrifice his whole life for a greater cause. Now, I wouldn't say necessarily that Gandhi was like embodying the Kali archetype, but the passion he exhibits reminds me of the passion that Kali awakens in myself. And so I'm interested in being more in tune with that own passion that I have and having that be kind of a little flame that can ignite that same passion in other people.
So you're doing that. You're igniting passion in me just by your dedication to this topic.
Oh, good.
So, is there anything you would say to people who are confronted with Kali in their life and would rather not like to face that side?
She'll always come back. You can't escape her. She is always there, no matter what, because she is each of us. You cannot run from yourself. I think we all know the saying of, you can't run from your own shadow, and that's what she is. Where there is light, there will always be dark. Where there is dark, there will always be light. That's just what life is, and it would be pretty boring, actually, if it wasn't there. Yeah. So, don't run away from her. She'll always find you. And the more you run away from her, just the angrier she's going to get. So, better let her in sooner than later. Yeah.
Well, that's all I have. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing your passion and your interest with me. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just say, go big or go home. That's it.
Thank you, Maya.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure.